Welcome to the AACFB's 2025 Meet the Funder webinar series. My name is Monica Harper. I'm the Executive Director of the AACFB, and I'll be your host. Our presenters today are Nicole Miller and Rebecca Massarini Cooper from NewLane Finance. NewLane Finance is both a funding source member and a gold sponsor of the AACFB, and I'd like to thank them for their support of the association. Before I turn it over to the NewLane team, I'd like to go over a few things to make this webinar more enjoyable and informative for everyone. During the presentation, you will see a Q&A box that will allow you to ask questions. If you have any questions during the presentation, please submit your questions in the box and they will be answered by the end of the webinar. The entire webinar should take no more than 30 to 45 minutes. And for those of you who would like to review it at a later date, it will be posted on the 2025 Meet the Funder page of the AACFB website, and it will be emailed out to the membership. At this time, I'll turn it over to Nicole and Rebecca. It is all yours.
Thanks, Monica. I appreciate it. And thank you everyone for joining. NewLane Finance is headquartered in Philadelphia and was founded in 2017 by two industry veterans with nearly 6 decades of combined experience in equipment finance. NewLane has appeared in the prestigious Monitor 100 list every year since 2020. NewLane is backed by the publicly traded multi-billion-dollar WSFS Bank, one of the nation's oldest and most trusted financial institutions. Empowered by WSFS, NewLane is able to provide uninterrupted access to capital and develop long-term relationships with premier brokers across the nation. NewLane was created with the purpose of providing an exceptional customer experience through a fast and flexible financing process. With a tagline of business lending done right, NewLane delivers a quick application process, simple documentation, transparent terms, and a customized financing solution for every business. As an additional note, we are excited for our broker portal to roll out in Q3 of this year. NewLane's culture is rooted in the core values of integrity, teamwork, passion, and commitment to excellence, with the belief in building strong, lasting relationships. We are looking to bring on brokers that bring us quality flow business. Although we do not have a minimum funding requirement to be a broker with NewLane, we are looking for lasting relationships aligned with our core values. NewLane can do equipment finance agreements in all 50 states based on us being a WSFS subsidiary. We know the importance of speed in business relationships, which is why we offer quick credit and turnarounds as well as funding turnarounds. Now, Nicole, who's part of our business development team, is going to go into more detail of the broker programs available here at NewLane.
Thanks, Rebecca. Myself, along with 3 other business development managers, oversee the broker division from the sales standpoint. Our goal is to learn about our brokers, what you guys focus on based on industry specialty. If you have specific dealer programs, we're here to make sure if it's a fit for NewLane, and if it is, help you customize and find the right programs for you. We want to really learn about your business, because rather than being a one-size-fits-all, we're here's our products, let's see how we can help you fund more business. We do offer 100% financing, and most of our deals are pre-funded, and credit analysts view all of our deals. They're never going to be auto-scored. Along with that, Rebecca had mentioned that we finance in all 50 states. Part of that includes California and New York with no disclosures, and we do offer standard brokering, discounting, and portfolio purchases in those states that don't require disclosures. And EFAs are our primary focus. However, we do offer dollar out and FMV options for those customers who may need them for tax write-offs. Our app-only threshold, depending on industry, varies from $100,000 to $150,000, and we do consider up to $500,000 transactions with a full financial package. Now, with that, our main focus is small ticket. So it's going to be the $10K to $75,000 that is going to be our primary focus. And really, we're going to see the most success with NewLane. As for target markets, we're really a generalist. meaning that if it's not federally regulated or something we consider high risk, we try and find a way to do it. A lot of our brokers do see success in things like healthcare, restaurants, automotive, manufacturing, just to name a couple. But the sky's the limit. If you guys have landed a vendor program that makes sense for the business and isn't considered to be something restricted based on primarily things like federal government regulation, it is typically something we can consider. As for our programs, we do have a couple different credit models that we look at when trying to approve deals. Our medical program is great. From day one of licensing, they can be considered for up to $100,000 in financing. Now that's going to be your primary practices, things like your general practitioners, OBGYNs, your surgeons, things along those lines, and your MD, DO, and your dentist. Now, anything outside of medical, typically our application only program that we discussed earlier, between 100 and 150,000, starts at 2 years time in business with a minimum 660 credit score. Now, depending on the time in business and the credit score, it might be more or less for that up only threshold. And we do start considering corp only at that 5-year time in business mark. We have a new business program for 1 year time in business. We only are able to qualify them for 25,000 though. And then the hot topic, I believe, for a lot of brokers right now is a transportation program. For us, we do run a little bit more conservative. It's not our bread and butter, but it's there to support our brokers. So for both long haul and short haul, we need 4 trucks in fleet, 6 years time in business, and a 700 Vantage credit score, along with a strong cash flow and bank statements that support the request. And those would all be app only up to 100,000. As for our brokers, we're really looking for brokers that share our core values that Rebecca mentioned earlier, the integrity, passion, teamwork, and commitment to excellence. Our goal is for you to make more money and drive more business to NewLane. And so with that, by understanding you and making sure you're in alignment with us, everybody's going to have greater success. As I mentioned earlier, there's a team of 4 of us, myself, John Igo, Rob Black, and Lisa Trail as your senior business development managers. If you know one of us and haven't yet gotten on board with NewLane, please feel free to reach out to any of us directly. However, if you don't have a rep or a personal contact, on the next screen will be broker@NewLane Finance that you can email, or there will be a link on our website you can go to as well. And Monica, if you want to open it up to any questions.
Yes, and I will say if I don't see any questions just yet, so we'll give it just a minute for people to type it. If you have a question, please put it in the Q&A box and we'll get an answer for you. Give it just a minute. Bill is asking about seasonal payments.
Yeah, we can absolutely do seasonal, annual, biannual, depending on the industry, if it makes sense. So things like farmers, sometimes construction. We can also look at deferred payment options. It would just be something that on a case-by-case basis, or if you have a vendor that you want to set up a permanent program for, those are all things we can look at.
Says, thank you for your transportation equipment matrix. Does this apply for work-oriented vehicles such as ambulances, tow trucks, box vans?
So anything that primarily focuses on transportation will want the 4 trucks in fleet. If it's something like a construction company or a work truck, we'll still have the requirements of time in business and credit score, but we won't have that fleet requirement on those. So we'll look at those if they have 2 trucks in fleet for like a construction company needing something with like a tool body, things like that.
Okay. Do you have age limits on used equipment?
Typically, Rebecca, if you want to correct me on it, 10 years to 15, but there's some wiggle room in there depending on the equipment.
Yeah, great. So for title, it's typically 10 years or younger that we're looking for. For non-titled equipment, it's typically 15 years is the max or younger for the asset. There is some circumstances, maybe we could look a little longer at the asset, say it's a hard asset that really holds value. a lot of farm equipment, we'll just limit the term.
Who do we need to contact to establish a broker funder partnership?
Yeah, so the page I have up right now, you can email broker@NewLane Finance, or you can go to newlanefinance.com/broker-service and put your name in as an inquiry. And with the holiday this week, we would either get back to you Friday or early next week.
Okay. What about last mile delivery, FedEx and Amazon?
We're going to treat that the same as a transportation company for fleet, time and business, bank statement requirements, and cash flow.
Okay. Need any other questions, but we'll give it answer. I worked with Robert Black for a few years before starting 5 West Financial. Could I still sign on as a broker?
Definitely reach out if you need Rob's contact information. I can go back a slide for you. And you can reach out to him directly if you've worked with him previously, and we can work on getting you onboarded.
Okay. Great. I'll just give it a second, see if anybody's typing. He said thank you. Do you do private party deals?
Yeah, absolutely. If the asset makes sense, we can consider it, and we can fund the private party as the vendor.
So the two caveats on that are it needs to be hard collateral and it needs to not have a lien on it currently.
I don't see any other questions, so we will go ahead and wrap it up. I want to say thank you to everybody who participated, and especially our valued funding source member and gold sponsor, NewLane Finance. Thanks for a great job, everyone. We invite you to meet with NewLane in person at the 2025 Commercial Financing Expo coming up September 10th through the 12th in Austin, Texas. And again, if anybody has any questions for them, feel free to reach out or come and see us in Austin and ask your questions in person.
Thank you,
so much,
everyone.
Monica.
Thanks.